Good morning and welcome to United View. Welcome to a very special day. Welcome to match day. Welcome to a day where one Frank, the United Strand, after so many days, after such a long period of time, could be set to finally get a haircut. Some would even say it's the final countdown. And that's exactly what it is. So this morning, I want all of you to get hyped. I want all of you to get ready. I want all of you to click the like button. I want all of you to subscribe because today we mean business. Today, it is the final countdown. Yes, it is. Can you feel it? Can you feel the anticipation? Can you feel something special? Can you feel the atmosphere begin to rise? Can you feel the final countdown is on, folks? It's bigger than the final. It's bigger than just 3 points. It is cut.
Frank, the time has come at last. Your night is rising from the past. 5 winds shining bright and true. The final countdown starts for you. Day by day we face the pain. Hair kept growing like the rain, but the magic's here to stay. Carrick leads us to the way. It's the final countdown now. Feel the glory take a bow. Bruno Kirby light the flame. Frank, your haircut's in the game.
It's in the game indeed. It's in the game indeed. Are we all ready?
Join the fight. Hey, Madeline Cunha burning bright. No more sorrow, no despair. United spirit fills the air. Day by day we face the pain. Hair kept growing like the rain.
Yes.
But the magic's here to stay. Carrick leads us to the way. It's the final countdown now.
No, it's Brian Cash. The big.
Feel the glory take a bow. Bruno Kirby light the flame. Frank, your haircut's in the game.
The hype continues. The hype continues.
It's the final countdown now. Feel the glory take a bow.
You can feel it. You can feel it. Yes. Right, let's start the show. Yes. It'd be good if I had the right thing on, wouldn't it? Disgraceful. Absolute disgrace. Disgraceful. I got too carried away. I got too excited. Yes, good morning. Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing very well. Click that like button. Be sure to subscribe. Yes. We are here. It is match day, and it is Manchester United travelling to the London Stadium, of course. And could Frank be getting a haircut? That's interesting indeed, isn't it? Yes. God, look at the grumpy people in the chat. It's match day, folks. It's match day. Enjoy yourself. Have some good fun. Have some good times. Yes, we're winning 5 games in a row. Yes, 5 games in a row. That's what it needs to be. Positivity. And that's what we're going to be getting today. Positivity. We're also going to be talking about Marcus Rashford. Could Marcus Rashford be on his way back to Manchester United? Well, if certain new reports are to be believed, the answer is no. He is not going to be on his way back to Manchester United, despite some rumours and rumblings over the last couple of weeks that maybe he could be on his way back. Imagine he could be playing under Carrick. Imagine he could be in this team. Maybe Carrick could get the best out of Rashford. No, according to reports, Carrick's got no plans to bring Rashford back, even though by the time he could be brought back, Carrick might not be here anyway. I don't really know. We are going to be, of course, building to this game at the London Stadium this evening. A 8:15 kickoff at night. So a bit of a late one. We're going to have to wait late to see indeed if Manchester United can make it 5 in a row for Manchester United. And yes. Are we feeling good? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling optimistic this morning. I'm feeling happy this morning. I know maybe tensions are a little bit high, a little bit of nerves, and what have you. But this is match day. This is what we want. I tell you what I'm loving, I'm absolutely loving that my team's not, I don't have to wait 7 days to watch my team and play again, right? It almost feels a little bit strange. I'm so used to waiting from weekend to weekend for Manchester United, right? But now I can only wait a couple of days to see my team play and actually want to see my team play as well. That's the exciting thing as well. Yes, I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm optimistic. Optimistic. Opposition. What's the word I'm looking for? Optimize. Yes, roll VT.
Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Oxford Natural and their all-new natural supplement, Optimum Day and Night. Thousands across the UK, USA and beyond are smashing their health goals with Oxford Natural. Optimum Day gives you steady energy, curbs your cravings and keeps your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night helps you relax, get restorative sleep, recover and keep burning fat while you rest. It's not a magic pill, but it will help you reach your health goals. Check out some of the incredible results. 2 of our own, OWEN, lost over 100 pounds in 10 months. And KG dropped 30 pounds in 4 months. In 8 months, football legend Michael Owen lost 35 pounds. And Robbie from AFTV, Don Robbie, lost over 80 pounds. And in 6 months, Anita, an award-winning immigration lawyer, lost 44 pounds. And Linda, a law firm executive, lost over 50 pounds. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural, let's get to work.
Yes, let's get to work indeed. As always, folks, you can scan that QR code right there. Scan it to subscribe and save up to 70% off your first order. You can use the code UV. You can get your Optimum Day Q Flex, shake, which is good for your weight loss goals. You can get your Optimum Night, which is good for your restorative sleep. You can get them individually or combined, any which way you please. As always, the links in the video description is pinned in the chat. It's all over the place. You can scan the QR code, go to the landing page, learn more, see the case studies, and you can get optimized today. Say it together, folks. I don't have Flex with me this morning, but you can do it with me. 1, 2, 3. Optimized, yeah? Optimized. Yes, we can get optimized today. And hopefully Manchester United will be optimized in the form of 5 out of 5. Booker T settings. Can you dig it, sucker? Yeah, I can dig it. Can you? All right. I wish I could play that in the intro, but I can't. That one we would get a flag on that one, to be honest with you. But still, 5 wins in a row. That's what we're aiming for. But first, before we even get to that, we are going to be talking about Marcus Rashford. There is some rumours, some stories when it comes to Rashy. Could he be on his way back to Manchester United? There were some rumblings, I want to say like a week ago, a week or so ago, something like that, right? A week or so ago, something along those lines. That Rashford could be on his way back, and if Michael Carrick got the job on a permanent and he was the official Manchester United head coach for next season, then he would be lobbying to bring Marcus Rashford back from Barcelona, where he's currently on loan. Of course, there is a buy option, but it feels like every other day or every other week you get a different story about whether Barca are going to trigger that buy option, or whether they want less, whether they're happy with Rashford, whether they're not happy with Rashford. It's an ongoing story. Frankly, it doesn't really sort of, hit the United news sphere too much, does it? But, these things still rumble on until he's no longer officially a Manchester United player. This will always be the case. But those rumours kind of put to bed this morning. A report coming out from Samuel Lutker saying that Manchester United are not, or planning for a future rather, without Marcus Rashford. Michael Carrick has no plans to bring him back, which, to be honest, this is one of those strange kind of stories, because I'm not really sure that Michael Carrick's got, as of right now, got much really say in that, right? But one, he can't be brought back at the moment. The winter transfer window is done, so I don't even know if there was a recall clause or a break clause or anything like that. And as of right now, there's no confirmation that Michael Carrick is going to be the Manchester United head coach next season or long term or anything like that. So I'm not really sure why this is much of a story, because I don't think Michael Carrick's really got much say in it at the moment. Now, if he were to become, the Manchester United head coach longer than just till the end of the season, then yes, maybe he would have a part to play in that conversation about whether, Rashford comes back or doesn't come back, if indeed Barca don't activate the buy option, this, that, and the other. But as of right now, I don't really think he's that involved in, because think of what was his remit. What's Michael Carrick's remit at the moment? The remit is just get the best out of what you've got, finish as high up the table as you possibly can, and then, and then sort of go from there, So, I don't think that's honestly, I think it's a bit of a strange one, even for Carrick would want to bring him back, Carrick wouldn't want to bring him back. I don't think he's got much say in it right now, because that's not what he's there to do. He's there just to get the team to the end of the season, finish at the highest of the tables as possible. And this was kind of something that James and myself were talking about on Trafford Talk last Thursday, of when you're having these sort of recruitment meetings, usually the head coach would be in there. And you kind of do wonder how involved Carrick is going to be in that in the moment, considering it's just till the end of the season. But, for me, with the Rashford stuff, in all honesty, it was over a long time ago. I know that maybe because of, what's happened with Cobby, what's happened with Cobby about the, he was on his way out and he could have been sold 40 million. Then the manager goes, and then suddenly new lease of life. And, we're talking about now Cobby, is he going to get in the England squad? And having some really impressive performances, etc. People are drawing comparisons, I think, between that and the Rashford thing, going, are we going to see a similar situation with Rashford? Is it going to be, now that Amorim's gone, the problems with Rashford at Manchester United are fixed, and now he's going to come back? I just don't see it. Similarly to the Cobby one, this is why I've even been a bit, I've brought this up with the Cobby thing, and I think he's going to obviously stay and sign a new long-term deal and what have you. But what needs to be mentioned quite often here with these sort of situations is that it's not just always an issue between the player and the coach, right? Marcus Rashford and Cobby Mainoo clearly had issues with Ruben Amorim. Now, Cobby maybe didn't have the same issues that Marcus Rashford had with Ruben Amorim, because Cobby was still in the squads. He wasn't being picked, to start games. He was still in the squad. Rashford, meanwhile, was just completely, put to one side, put in the bomb squad, and, was pushing for a move elsewhere. But also, I think with Rashford, he's also clearly got issues with the club. I think, and those people are still there. And, Rashford's significantly older than Cobby. He's significantly more higher paid than Cobby Mainoo as well. And, it's just over, and I have the same view of this as I did with Ruben Amorim, as I did with Eric Ten Hag, as I did with people like David De Gea and others. I think the idea of players being sort of one club players coming through the academy and, staying for their whole career. Obviously, look, we're kind of built on that class of 92 and this, that, and the other, and I get it. But sometimes it isn't always the case. There is a beginning, there's a middle and an end. And I think Marcus Rashford, for his Manchester United chapter of his career, I think it's over. I think it's over. I think it's the right thing for it to be over. He's left. He's got back into the England squad because of it. He's playing in Spain, and certainly the media coverage of Rashford whilst he's in Spain versus whilst he's in England, naturally, certainly on the England side of things, is nowhere near as a high scrutiny as it was when he was at Manchester United. I'm sure over in Spain he probably gets scrutiny because you play for one of the biggest teams in the world there, so it's still going to be there. But I don't know about you as just a fan. I'm just glad not to. This is the first time I think we've spoken about Rashford here for a while, actually. And honestly, I'm kind of glad. I'm glad because it was just tiresome, wasn't it? It's the same for any of these people that constantly in the headlines. You just get tired of it. And now that he's moved on and it's a bit, it's not being spoken about as much, you can just go play his football and that's it. And we're doing well. And it's for me, there's no need for that to be revisited. There's no extra chapter that needs to be written of Marcus Rashford's Manchester United career, I think. As was, and I don't, because you don't really know all of the situations here, so I'm always a bit reluctant to sort of hyper-focus on the off-the-pitch stuff and, some of the issues that he was having, because you don't know the whole story, of course. But there were clearly issues, right? You can just say one word with Rashford: Belfast. That's all you need to say, and then performances and issues with fans and what have you. It just got toxic. So there's no need to re-enter that toxicity. There's no need to revisit that. There's no wrongs to be righted. I don't think he had as an academy graduate at United. I still think I said this at the time. He had, if you gave Marcus Rashford's achievements at Manchester United to any academy player, they would rip your arm off for it. They would be thrilled, right? Won trophies, played a whole bunch of games for their childhood club, played in massive matches, scored in massive matches. He had a great Manchester United career. Now, was it maybe the career that he envisaged of, winning Premier League titles? Maybe not. He was at the club in a difficult time where we weren't competing for Premier League championships, but it's just over, isn't it? It's just over. We won't get a huge amount of money for him either because of his wages. I don't even know if if he'll end up at Barca next season, right? Because you never know with Barca when it comes to their transfer dealings and every signing, it's like rinse and repeat with them. Every signing they get, then that's followed up by the story of, are they going to register them? Are they going to have the money to register them? What's the salary situation going to look like? And then they always manage to register them in the end. So it's always a bit of a non-story. So you never know. They might, people forget with Rashford, of course, they did have the pursuit of other players, Williams, etc. Maybe the end of the season will come and the summer will happen and maybe Barca look towards somebody else instead of Marcus Rashford, and we still have to move him on. But that wouldn't, for me, lead to any kind of comeback. I think it would still be best for him to move on. Do I think he'll stay there? I don't know because I haven't watched enough of Barca this season. There's a few games I've watched of Barca this season that he's done all right in. Like when he scored against Newcastle at St. James's Park. So I don't really know the answer to that one, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. But what I do think is that I just don't see a future with him at Manchester United. And I just don't think Amarim's exit or Carrick staying on or whoever the head coach will be at the beginning of next season is going to mean that Marcus Rashford stays. I think that chapter is firmly closed, as it should be. And if I was people that were close to Rashford or what have you, I would still say, look, you're playing regularly, you're back in the England squad, even if it's not Barca, let's try and push it to be Barca. If it's not Barca, it's not Man United, because It's just why revisit it in the same way that we're talking about Ollie or other managers or what have you, which it feels like, and this is very, very early days, so I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, but it feels like for the first time in a while, we are actually making steps forward on the pitch, off the pitch. You can talk about the hierarchy, whether it's fit for purpose, Ineos. For me, just 4 wins or 5 wins does not suddenly mean Ineos are really competent at what they're doing. I feel they've kind of stumbled in to this kind of, Michael Carrick solution. And actually, I feel like, you have to remember that this wasn't by design by Ineos, and Ruben Amorim wasn't going to go until the end of the season at a minimum. It's because Ruben Amorim blew up. So I'm not going to give him too much credit for that. But finally, when they are something is starting to work on the pitch, I don't see why you would want to maybe sort of disrupt or unsettle that. Not to say that Marcus Rashford is a disruptive or unsettling figure or anything like that. It's just, it feels like you're finally making some actual strides forward on the pitch after 2 years of not doing that. Why go back to what wasn't working before, if that makes sense? You would surely, the best thing would be, right, don't look back, keep going forward and just focus on the future. Focus on the future. How do we get bigger? How do we get better? Let's not revisit the past. Let's not revisit old players. Let's not revisit old managers or anything like that. Build, move forward. Because, even as a fan, right? I don't know what you guys think, but even as a fan, it's just, I'm so happy just to that, I know still we spoke about Amorim the other day, or, talk about Rashford now, but it just feels good knowing that you're going to talk about it once and then you're not going to have to talk about it the next day or the day after that or the day after that or every single game, every single day. It's just nice just to be looking forward to tonight's game and going, right, we can get 5 wins in a row. Wow. And I know obviously there's all this talk about Frank and his haircut, and I know there's the I don't know what they're called when it's not Christmas. What's like the Grinch, but just around the year. Grouches, I don't know. That sort of do the whole, oh, it's a haircut, I don't care about it, just blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? It's just a bit of fun. I've been so serious in life. But from a team perspective, from a league perspective, 5 wins in a row. This was the same feat that with the haircut thing, it was like, wow, we're never going to achieve that. We're never going to do it. So that challenge is going to be going on forever. When was the last time we won 5 in a row? He's purposely done this because he know that we won't hit it, blah, blah, blah. Tonight's the night that we can do it. That's cause for celebration. That's cause for 5 in a row. It doesn't mean we won the league. Doesn't mean we qualify for the Champions League. But even the fact that we could be on the precipice of hitting 5 wins in a row, even without the haircut thing, that is in today's Premier League, it's not easy. That is not an easy feat to do, and it's not like we've played the bottom 5 teams either, right? It's not like we've played the easiest teams. We played some of the most difficult teams, right? During that time, what did we play? The top 2 teams in the league. When we played Fulham, they were 7th. We played Spurs, who are in the Champions League. I know they're rubbish, but still champions in the Champions League, and a team we haven't beaten in ages. So there is a lot of room to be optimistic rather. And again, that should be that's something to be excited about. It is, So yeah, I think obviously if and fingers crossed when we win tonight, the whole thing will be about Frank and his haircut, and then once we move on from that, it will still be like 5 wins in the Prem in a row. I haven't done that for a couple of years, and with the way that other teams are sort of dropping points, can really nail down a Champions League position. That's really, really encouraging signs, and really, really time to be positive. I've mentioned this a lot recently too. Think about how bad it's been over the last couple of years. Think about how negative it's been over the last couple of years. And look, we don't know how long this feeling is going to last for. We don't know how long this run's going to last for. I know KG said the whole 7 games thing, but it's not going to last forever. We're going to lose games eventually, And it might be tonight. I really hope it isn't. I don't think it should be. But we're going to lose games. We're going to drop points and what have you. But whilst we're in this run, whilst we're in this phase of, winning matches back to back to back to back, I mean, the least we can do is enjoy it, right? Is enjoy it and, not be still so sort of negative. Exactly, Asher. Exactly. Go have a go at him. Have a go at him. The people that are crying about Frank. What do you think? Yeah. No, I agree. Out of order. Out of order. Even though your hair's probably shorter than Frank's at the moment, which is kind of remarkable. You're a dog, but Frank's a human. But still, yeah. No, I agree. This Asher wanted to have. I was thinking this yesterday. Actually, we've got to get like an Asher emoji in the chat, don't we? We've got to. We've got to get an Asher emoji because I mean she's just going to do that. She's doing this. She's going through this phase at the moment where she thinks she hears people or things and just decides to bark at them. So I don't really know what to do about that. And then if I tell her to sort of stop, I go, "Oh, Asher, stop." She'll just do it more. So, yeah, we need to get Asher emojis. That needs to be a thing. That needs to be a thing in the chat. But I don't know how many we've got at the moment. I know we've got a Booker T emoji, so I'm hoping to see that this evening. A lot of the fives, yeah, a lot of the fives, five time, a lot of that. Yes. I don't say that, Numinous. Don't say Numinous. I don't say that. I used to believe in ghosts. I used to believe in ghosts, but now no. Well, I say believe. I was open to the possibility of ghosts, but then I kind of grew up. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what I mean? It's like not really sure I'm feeling that. Because there's lots of different sort of things that completely sort of poo-poo on that idea, isn't there? One, why are ghosts always from like the Victorian era or something like that? Why is it never just, someone from this day and age? And also, if I have the possibility to come back, in the afterlife and send a message, I'm not going to do it by, turning lights on and off and sort of going, oh, I would just be, you're right. I'm still here in ghost form. I'm not going to be, dropping things, and going, oh, that's how I am. You know what I mean? I'd be like, why bother? Because everyone's got that whole, like a lot of people have that. Well, if there is, there'll be a secret word, won't there? You know what I mean? There'll be like a exactly. Why is there not that? Why is it always someone? Oh, this was someone from, 1654, and they're, I don't know, churning butter. You go, well, what am I going to do with that? So that kind of helped with the with all that. So I don't know. Anyway, I've gone. Yeah, I've gone down the rabbit hole. Exactly. Snapchat. Why not? Why not? Why does it always have to be that? It's always someone hold it. Oh, they used to play with this doll, and you go like, well, okay, I don't really get it. You know what I mean? Why? I don't know. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Rashford. Rashford not coming back. There's no plans for him to return to Manchester United. This was actually quite an interesting statistic here. Well, I say statistic, just something worth pointing out from United District. I wanted to know what you guys thought about this. So it says here, all of the Manchester United players to win Player of the Match award since Michael Carrick's arrival at Old Trafford have been over 30. That's being Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, and also Harry Maguire. Why do we think that is the case? Michael Carrick, for whatever reason, has been able to not only get the most out of what he's got, and certainly the younger players in the team are playing well too. But it's really the resurgence of these experienced players. It's really the resurgence of these leaders. It's really these resurgence of these top players that have really been driving Manchester United forward. What do we think is the reason for that? Is that just one of those sort of weird things of, well, you know, you could have given it to, you could have given some of the man of the matches to Brian Mbeumo. You could have given them to Mateus Cunha, right? Which I think is fair. You know, it could have been. It could have been. You know, Kobbie Mainoo could have got a man of the match in a couple of these matches too. I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that. Exactly, Asher. What do you think the answer is? I'll go get her. Asher, what are you doing? What was your prediction? What was your prediction? She's not very well. She's got to go to the vets today. What was your prediction? 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 Manchester. She's gone 3. Folks, we have a prediction. She's gone 3-0 Manchester United. That is big. You that confident? Really? That confident? 3-0. 3-0 Ash is going with. Now, you sure? 3-0 you're sure? Yeah, all right. 3-0. 3-0 it is. 3-0 it is. All right. You heard it first. You heard it first. 3-zip. 3-zip. And I was thinking about that too. Imagine you become like Paul the Octopus, Asher the Mystic. We'll need more. All right. I'll ask if West Ham will score. All right, Joe. All right. You've gone 3-0. You've gone 3-0. Will West Ham score? That's a no. That's nothing. You sure for 3-0? You're not responding at all now. you just go. Well, I mean, the fact that you only reacted 3-0. Just did it again. That's 3-0. That's 3-0. That's twice. 3-0. We've got a prediction. 3-0. 3-0. Put your life savings on it. Put your life savings on it. Don't be as bad as KG. You know. Any other predictions? any other predictions that you want? What could I got one. Well, Mr. Kasha, is Michael Carrick going to be the permanent head coach next? I didn't even have to finish. Yes, she knows. You know. I didn't even have to finish on Michael Carrick. So you're just confirming that that's Michael Carrick. Wow. That's big. Wow, that was just like that. It's been said. 3-0, and Michael Carrick will be the head coach next season. Wow. And that's Ash's predictions for today. I mean, any other questions? I mean, I don't even know if you can get bigger than that. You know what I mean? Wait a minute. Asher, are you Indy Kalia? No, you're not. Okay. Well, that's fine. I just wanted to double check. I wasn't sure. No. Okay, cool. So 3-0, and Michael Carrick's going to be in charge next season. That's that then. Done. Easy. You know. Exactly. I didn't want to sort of discuss. No discussion. It's just 3-0. That's what it's going to be. Yeah. And then stared at the public for the rest of it as well. Where are we at in terms of likes? Let's see if we can get to 200 likes. Be sure to subscribe. We've broken big news this morning here. Exclusive. It's going to be 3-0. Michael Carrick's going to be the permanent long-term head coach. of Manchester United, and Asher is not Indy Kalia. So we've got that confirmation. You don't work at KFC, do you? No, you don't. Project 2028. Okay, this is getting silly. This is getting silly. This is getting silly. If you're right, Asher, got to calm down. Got to calm down. Got to calm down. We've got 3 big predictions there. 3 very big predictions. Yeah, the prophecy. The prophecy, Dave. That's what it is. That is the prophecy. Okay, we've got 3 big predictions here. 3-0. Carrick is going to be the permanent head coach, and Project 2028 is on. I tell you now, yeah, right? If it ends up being 3-0 this evening, holy shit. Holy shit. Because then it'll be like, oh my God. Oh. Not that you believe any of this stuff, but oh, God, that would be something, wouldn't it? Imagine. Andy Tate, yeah, I know exactly. Should have asked if Aston will bottle the league. Well, we don't want to exhaust her. Like I said, she is actually unwell. We've got to go to the vets later. She's got bad ears. She keeps scratching. But maybe I'll bring this up to the vets. I'll say it's not so much her scratching because of itchiness. She's scratching because of the premonitions. She's getting the visions. She's getting the premonitions. She's hearing a rumbling. She's hearing the noise. That noise is 3-0. Michael Carrick to be permanent and Project 2028. Exactly. UV clips, yeah. If it ends up being 3-0 tonight, we've got to do a whole campaign, frankly, don't we? You know what I mean? Forget Frank. Forget Frank. Frank's yesterday's news. If we win tonight, yeah. If we win tonight, Frank is yesterday's news. It's Asher front and center, right? The clairvoyant pup. Okay, the clairvoyant canine. That's what you are. Okay, that's what you are. Clairvoyant. Yeah. If it's 3-0 tonight, you are going to become a celebrity. You're already a superstar as it is. I know you're tired of this shit, but you know, this could be magic. This could be magic. This could be. Oof. Wow. You know, that's just this could be unbelievable. This could be crazy. Where am I going to now? All right, a little bit of an update. That is true. I do need to just get her own seat. Where would I put that? I'd have to put it like here. I'd have to get like a perch or something. Maybe something like that. I'll look into that. Going back to a little bit of news. There was obviously some chatter a few weeks ago, about a month or so ago as well, wasn't it, about a possible mid-season friendly in the Middle East or something like that, right? That looks like that's not going to be the case now. Paul Hurst from The Times saying any plans for Manchester United to play a mid-season friendly in the Middle East have been put on the back burner. Talks could be revived regarding a friendly after next month's international break. But for now, it looks like United will not be heading to the region for an exhibition match that could have earned them millions of pounds. Also, Carrick had the chance to take Manchester United players away for a warm weather training camp after the West Ham game, but he decided against it. Carrick thinks that having the extra time he is having with the players on the training pitches is helping his team become more defensively solid. Yes, more time on the training pitch. Remember that? More time on the training pitch will make us get better. I think I would get it if Man United were having just the worst season, just the worst season already, we were like, well, Champions League, we're way off it. It's not going to happen. Or European football, we're way off it. Or by March, we're way off it and it's not going to happen. Then you would kind of maybe understand it because Man United would need the money. But now it's just a distraction, isn't it? It's a distraction. And also it's the case of us not needing the money. Obviously, if you're going to get Champions League football or European football, by all accounts, Man United budgeted for Europa the last couple of seasons, haven't they? And, if they can get that Champions League money, then that's better than doing a mid-season friendly in the Middle East. So there's no real need to do it. There is going to come a time, which really actually begins this weekend, where look, Man United and Man United fans, this is going to be a bit of a barren period coming up, unfortunately, because obviously it's FA Cup this weekend. We're not in it. There'll be more FA Cup weekends. There'll be international breaks. We're still one game a week. So through, when is it? Because when we got knocked out of the FA Cup, they were talking about it, what they saying. There's a period of time where we don't play that much at all. We don't play that much at all. When is it? Let's have a look at the fixtures. So we got that. We play on Monday, the 23rd of Feb, after this weekend. Where is it? Which in the next however many weeks? I think it's now, isn't it? It's in the next couple of weeks. We've only got like 4 games or something. Basically because we're not in any competitions and because international break, there's not a lot of football that we're going to be playing. So more time on the training pitch. Maybe there's going to be some warm weather training, perhaps as well. We shall see, but no need for a mid-season friendly or anything like that. Yes, but of course that could all change, right? We lose tonight. It's nope. We need more time. We need more friendly. We need more football. That's what we need. We need more. So you never know. But at the moment, no need. And it was also, from a sort of, I would say PR, but from a just an optics point of view, a season where you're not in the Champions League or any European competition after finishing 15th last season, and then if you weren't doing any, obviously been knocked out cup competitions, and then if we were doing nothing in the league, but going mid-season to the Middle East for a friendly just because we needed the money, it's not a good look, is it? You know what I mean? It just would not be the look that Manchester United would need. All of these other big teams competing for titles, competing for trophies, multiple games a week, and us over in the Middle East just going, can we have some money, please? Because we really need it. Wouldn't be a good look. And thankfully, we're not doing that. Some early team news as well for the game this evening at the London Stadium against West Ham. This was the travelling squad. You've got Lomans, Bayindir, Tom Heaton. Defenders, we've got Dallo, Mazraoui, Maguire, Leacher, Aidan Heaven, Luke Shaw, Malacia. Midfielders, we've got Casemiro, Ugarte, Cobby, Tyler Fletcher, Bruno Fernandes. Still no Mason Mount, still no De Ligt. Michael Carrick did say yesterday that he thought Mason Mount would be back for, did he say the Everton game? Was it Everton, which is the next game on the 23rd of Feb? But, it's like a couple of weeks away, isn't it? So he's still a couple of weeks away from recovery, and I guess you never know. In terms of attackers, you've got Cunha, Ahmad, Xerxes, and Mbumo, and Benjamin Šeško. No Lenny Yoro in that travelling squad as well. So we'll have to find out what the situation is with Yoro, who I know I've spoken about this quite a lot recently, but I just feel bad for him because I just feel his confidence has been so hit hard. And maybe this is something we didn't know with Yoro, right? If he's out of this squad, maybe it is a case of actually not only is obviously confidence down a little bit, but he's been carrying something for a little bit, and they've decided to get that sorted. I mean, we don't know. We'll see. With De Ligt, Carrick did say yesterday again that he was working back, but we've heard that for however many. It feels like forever now, isn't it? And when he did drop out, it was only a minor issue. So, and that's also why when we hear, it's only a minor issue for Mason Mount, and I know Carrick has said that he'll be back for Everton, but again, I will believe that when I see it, because Lord knows he's had minor issues before, and then we never see him. As far as what team I would expect to start for Manchester United this evening, I mean, this is where it does get interesting, isn't it? This is where it does get interesting because all the other games, obviously, they've been a week of build-up or sometimes even longer of build-up. No need to. Someone saying what happened to Lacey. I think I saw Sully tweet that he had picked up an injury. Let me just double check that. I think I saw him say that. For those wondering, Sully, what did he say? I could have sworn he said that. There you go. This was on the 7th, so this was 3 days ago. Shea Lacey has unfortunately picked up a minor calf injury this week, which has kept him out of the squad at the weekend. Initial scans show it's not too serious, and he could be back in a few weeks if rehab goes to plan. Manchester United won't rush him back, so that's what's happened to Shea Lacey. So that's why he's not been in in those squads. Not that he would maybe possibly get on for a couple of minutes, but as more senior players come back, that might be a bit more difficult for him. But in terms of the team, the interesting thing about this one is that it's the first game where it's a couple of days of a turnaround as opposed to a full week. When it's a full week and you're winning, there is really no need to rotate at all, which you always get it. You know, when the team news comes out, you always get the sort of at this point, it's kind of performative meltdown, isn't it? I mean, I get it when we're not winning games, when we are 15th in the league or we're mid-table and the team news comes out, then I understand the meltdown for that. But when you're winning, 3 games in a row, 4 games in a row, and the team news comes out and it's unchanged, there's nothing really to complain about, is there? This evening, that might be a bit different because it's just a short turnaround. Maybe some players have some knocks, some tiredness. Of course, Mbeumo did travel. There was a bit of concern about him because he was seen limping out of Old Trafford at the weekend, but he did travel, and I think he'll be fine. So in terms of the team news, we're not playing at the weekend, are we? Because we're not in the FA Cup. So with that, then you would maybe say, well, then keep the same team because it's not like they need to go again at the weekend. So that's Lomans, that's Dalot, that's Maguire, that's Leacher, that's Shaw, Cobby and Cass, obviously. Be interesting to see how long Casemiro plays tonight. He did play 85 minutes against Spurs because Carrick was not repeating the mistake he made against Fulham, and it's a mistake that Amorim learned as well, which is you take Casemiro off, you lose control of the game. And then, the attacking players, your Ahmad, your Cunha, Bruno, and then Mbeumo up front, most likely. There could be, if the knock to Mbeumo was bad enough to kind of have a bit of doubts on his fitness, maybe that's where you do have Šeško through the middle, perhaps. But I think he probably will. I think he'll go with the same again if he can, because we don't have to play at the weekend. If we were still in the FA Cup, that would be different. Then I would go, look, you're playing 3 games in the space of 7-8 days. You're forced to. You have to rotate. You have to have fresh legs in there. But we're not playing at the weekend. We're already out. So you might as well. We've got a huge amount of time after this game. Like I said, because we're not in Europe, because we're out of all of those competitions. We've got this, after this evening, we don't play for 13 days. So why not? Why not? 13 days is a long turnaround. So you might as well. Now, obviously, you don't want to risk injury. If there are players that are legitimately, picking up knocks or they're not 100%, then maybe that is when you do decide to go, okay, right, we'll start Šeško up front, or we'll start. I don't even know who else would come in. What players are there that are? It's only of that I can think of our bench. Let me look at the bench of the last game. It's only really Šeško that you would go, oh, maybe he could start. The rest of the bench, I mean, the starting 11's playing so well. I mean, Mazraoui maybe for Dalot, fair. Mazraoui for Dalot, maybe, but even Dalot's been playing better the last few games. There's not really that. They should be going straight back into this team. There's not really that. And what I mean is, because some are saying like Xerxes, with how this team is playing at the moment, it's not like you're going, what we're really missing is Xerxes. What we're, you know what I mean? There's no, apart from Šeško, you could say, there's no one that's really sort of knocking on that door. That's sort of like, well, they're a bit unfortunate not to be starting. They should maybe come in for the next one. There's no one really like that. Maybe apart from Šeško. Mazraoui for Dalot, perhaps, but like I said, Dalot is playing well. So yeah, but look, I know we say in jest about the Frank and the haircut and all this kind of stuff, but make no mistake, it's not going to be an easy one. West Ham are starting to pick up a little bit of form. Won the last game against Burnley. Of course, they were 2-0 up against Chelsea. They bottled that. Chelsea came back. But they beat Sunderland at home. They beat Tottenham. So the last 4 games, they've won 3 out of their last 4. And even one against Chelsea did score 2 goals. So look, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be straightforward. It's not going to be those ones where you look at the table and go, right, they're in 18th, we're going to steamroll them. It won't be easy. I think we have enough to get it done. I think we will get it done, and we have the quality to get it done. And they also do concede goals. So yeah, it's not going to be easy, but I think we'll do it. I think get the job done, and Frank can get his haircut. PJ says not going to rest the injury-prone players. I don't see the need to. There's nothing to rest them for. We don't play for 13 days. We don't play for 13 days. So even if it was a case of, they might even if they did pick up a bit of a knock, they've got 2 weeks to recover from it. So unless it was like, let's say Brian Brumo's going into the game and like, he's like at 70% because he did pick up a major knock. Then you go, okay, right, play Šeško up front. But if they're ready to go and they're ready to play, and it's like, I can get through this game, but then I might need a bit of a rest after. You go, you're going to get one. You're going to get 2 weeks worth of a rest. So I would go the same team. If it ain't broke, right? If it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. Don't try and tinker. And this is also, and that's what's kind of weird about this one too, is it's a different challenge in the sense that, it's the first time Carrick's got a game with a quick turnaround, and maybe that's a bit of an indication for if he did get the job next season, which Asher has already said that he will. Then next season he will have to rotate more, and he's going to have all of these different games, different competitions, and that's different from the job that he's doing right now. So it's difficult to judge him on that. But even this, it's not really applicable to this game, because like I said, afterwards you've got 2 weeks worth of rest. So it's not like quick turnaround and then you've got to play at the weekend again. We don't have that. We don't. And as far as what it could mean, of course, for the Premier League table for Manchester United this evening, let's actually have a quick look at that, about where things stand at the moment. Because of course we're not looking down, we're only looking up at Manchester United, right? That's what we're doing. Only looking up at Manchester United. Let's get the Premier League table up here. So yes, as things stand, of course, Manchester United, 4th place, 44 points. Of course, we could go level on points with Aston Villa this evening. And if we were to go level on points, it would look likely that we could go ahead of them. We could possibly end up this evening in 3rd position. Now, who are Aston Villa playing this evening? Let me double check who Aston Villa are playing. Be good if that actually worked. Someone let me know in the chat. Imagine Manchester United. Of all the chatter that we've had about goal difference over the last, they play tomorrow. So actually, if we win, right? If we win, we'll go up to 3rd. We'll go up to 3rd if we win. We have the goal difference. There's so much on this game, isn't there? There is. There's the Frank thing. 5 wins in a row. Can go up to 3rd. Imagine that. Us up to 3rd. They got Brighton tomorrow at home. I would probably think they win. I would probably think they win that because Brighton are not that and they're at home. But you never know. Just put a bit of pressure on. See what happens. And us going above someone on goal difference would just feel impossible, considering the negative goal difference. Just get the goal difference to 0. Get the goal difference just to positive. Look at that. Not only is it positive, we're in double digits, baby. Look at us go. Yes. Double digits on the goals. Who would have thought? Manchester United on double digits, positive goal difference. Oh my God, we have been in the mud, haven't we? So yes, get a victory, get 5 wins, get a haircut for Frank, and also get 3rd spot. Keep pushing up the table. Why not? Keep pushing. And obviously, look, we're not going to do title charge or, what have you. But the key thing is build separation. Make sure that if and when we slip up, because we will, when we slip up, it doesn't hurt us that bad. It doesn't affect us that much because we go, look at that gap we've got. Look at that cushion, that we can start getting confident and talking about Champions League, in a couple of months' time, because we know, we've done the work. We've put it in, and we've got ourselves into a really, really strong position here. So that's key too. So this goes back to my point earlier on, folks. I know there's tension in the chat, and I know there's a bit of nervousness, and I know there's a bit of eye rolling for Frank and all this stuff in the haircut, but this is what we have wanted, right? This is what we have wanted. We've wanted our team to win, and at the moment they're winning. Now, long term, there's still a long, long way to go. And I don't know who's going to be in charge next season. And there's still a lot of problems with the club. Paramount, biggest one being the ownership. That hasn't gone away. And like I said, I won't give Ilios too much credit for they saw the light and they did the Carrick appointment. Wow, they're geniuses. Well, that wasn't their intention or their plan, and they stumbled into it. But whilst this is going on, whilst we're winning games, who knows how long that will last, you might as well enjoy it. It's much better than losing, isn't it? It's much better than that negative, oh, we're going to go at each other again today. Or, oh, this person does back the manager. This person doesn't back the manager. Or, oh, we don't like this player, but we like that player. And you disagree with me, or I'm going to scream at you and call you an asshole, even though I don't know who you are, what you look like or whatever. I'm going to go at you, and you're not a real Man United fan. This person is a real United fan, blah, blah, blah. Isn't it nice just to be winning? Winning, having a little bit of positivity, going into games with still nervousness, but excitement, nervous excitement of, oh, my team's playing again today. My team's playing again, and I think they're going to do well, and I think we're going to score goals, and I think we're going to play good football, and and go up the table, and I can go to the opposition fans, stick my chest out, and I can believe it as well. I'm not just doing it just to try and put up a front, even though I know deep down we're probably going to lose. No, I believe it. I can actually believe what I'm saying. I can believe in the players again, and like I said, for how long it lasts, just enjoy the ride, basically, because history has shown that we don't know how long it will last, and it can end quite quickly, and it can be bad for quite a long time. So if it's even if it's fleeting, if it's short, we might as well enjoy it, right? Might as well enjoy it. So that's why I look at the Frank thing and just go, yeah, great. It's great. If it means more positivity, if it means a better feeling around the club, it's it's nice to see the players smiling, or nice to see the players be able to participate in things without this constant, you're not delivering on the pitch, or how dare you focus more on training performances, or this, that, and the other. That is something that just hasn't been there for the last couple of years, has it? So long may it continue. Hopefully, according to Asher, it will continue. She said 3-0. So 3-0. Michael Carrick. We've got short, medium, and long-term predictions there. We've had a real session with Asher this morning. Short term, 3-0, Manchester United away at the London Stadium. That would be a result, wouldn't it? Bloody hell. Michael Carrick to get the job permanently. That's the medium. And the long term, she has confirmed that Project 2028 is a thing. Now, is she just a dog? Does she just have a tiny dog brain? Was it just completely random licks to the face? Maybe. Or was it genius? Was it a gift? Was it talent? Was it something that we don't really understand? Something that we can't really explain? Was it supernatural? I don't know. That's up for you to decide. I can't tell you, but we'll see. And if it's 3-0 tonight, I'm expecting a lot of ashes in the chat, and there'll be a lot to get excited about. 5 wins, Frank getting a haircut, knowing that those other predictions could become reality. My goodness me. Man United up to 3rd place in the Premier League. Positive goal difference. Oh, this could be special. Anyway, folks, there you go. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. What's on tap for the rest of the day? Right, of course, it's match day. So we've got road trip. We'll be coming up from Flex later on. We'll have the match view with DJ and myself. Flex is going to be at the London Stadium this evening as well. So we'll be getting his reaction from probably inside the ground, inside the London Stadium, directly after Manchester United's game against West Ham. Of course, our player ratings, etc., etc. So be sure to join us. As always, I'll be live 2 hours before kickoff, which is 15 p.m. kickoff. So I'll be live at 6:15. So be sure to join DJ and myself then. And let's get for 5 in a row. Yeah. The final countdown. Yeah. It's the final countdown again. And we'll be with you later on. I'm out of here. Peace.